Hello and welcome to Animal Watch, and today we are talking about the potentially dangerous condition called winter wolf syndrome, otherwise known as seasonal behavioural aggression.
Did you know that once a year, wolves and many high-content wolf dogs have huge character changes to the point that their owners are unable to get near them? It can be a dangerous condition, which if not handled correctly, results in hundreds of wolf dogs and wolves being surrendered to sanctuaries. Today on Animal Watch, we tell you just what exactly triggers this condition and what you can do to stay safe or prevent it. Don't go away. It's winter, and it's the breeding season. For dogs, this means nothing, as your female pet dog will come into season, if unspayed, twice a year, with minimal problems apart from some pack tension to other females and local male dogs hanging around your doorstep. For male dogs, they can breed whenever and whatever time of the year they want, hence why dogs have dominated the world. Your male dog is ready and able all year round. Wolves, on the other hand, are very different, as well as extremely high-content wolf dogs. Thank you to Vicki Spencer of Southern Breeze Wolf Ranch, Tony Haighway of WolfWatchUK, and Julie Bradshaw of Miyax Lupine Dogs for contributing to this episode. So what exactly is this condition? Well, it's the time of year when the breeding hormones flood the bodies of our wolves or high-content wolf dogs, and their natural urge to breed often becomes the only thing on their mind. Julie of Miyax Lupine Dogs says, "We use the term winter wolf syndrome to describe seasonal behavioural changes in wolves and high-content wolf dogs, because they only have seasons, fertile periods in the winter. They do not have fertile periods at other times of the year. Therefore, winter wolf syndrome is just wolf dog community slang for the better-known scientific term seasonal behaviour." Seasonal behavioural changes exist in all dogs. German Shepherd dogs are best known for this and often become temperamental, agitated, or even aggressive when in heat or season. It's exactly the same thing in wolf dogs. Except where normal dogs can experience this at any time of the year, wolf dogs only experience this in the winter. Nicknamed winter wolf syndrome, this is the breeding time of the year when your wolf or high-content male wolf dog's testicles swell up from basically shriveled walnuts into very ready and capable baby-producing units. Female wolves will come into season just once a year, in the same winter period as nature has timed the reproduction of wolves beautifully to coincide with the warm arrival of spring. As if they were living in the wild, this would increase the chances of survival for their young pups. As dogs live in our homes and all over the southern hemisphere, they have evolved to breed all year round, as they have warm homes to live in and often live in warm climates, so they have lost this once-a-year phenomenon. Now for wolves and high-content wolf dogs, what months are we talking about here? Both sexes start to become sexually active approximately in December, and this can last till early April. But grumpiness has been known to be worst in January and February, according to sources. Not all wolves are aggressive. Some may just become distant and grumpy, but others can full-on charge you. Imagine Dr Jekyll changing into Mr Hyde overnight. Vicki Spencer of Southern Breeze Wolf Ranch says, "I've personally only seen it in very high-content wolf dogs and pure wolves. Never experienced it with any of my wolf dogs. They have always been very good, even if I need to go in and call the female to keep her from biting the male. But I'm not saying that it's a definite for all males. I always had a very close bond with my animals, but a friend of mine who had one of the sweetest, most loving and stable-tempered wolf dog of 98% had a situation where his male was not so loving during breeding season with him. He even growled at him, and I could see it hurt my friend's feelings, but once he realised it was just nature taking its course, he did not take it personally. He was never in fear of entering the enclosure, he just realised the male did not want him too close during the actual breeding. Whereas Tony Haighway of Wolf Rescue WolfWatchUK is going through a very different time right now with his new white wolf male addition, Bosch. He says, "Bosch barely lets me near him at the moment, but as a female you could meet and greet in the normal way." He went on to say that a filming team had to be cancelled because Bosch was getting pretty bad. Bosch is a wolf allowed to roam acres of land with a female called Anneka, and Tony allows his wolves to keep very natural behaviours that wild wolves have. So perhaps this is why Bosch is acting up more than the wolf dog house pets we know, as Tony allows him to exist in a semi-wild state. Also, wolves are known to be more fearful of men than women, which is why he's mentioned that women can still get close to Bosch. A wolf will view a man as male competition, as can smell the testosterone, and might even challenge him. Julie of Miyax Lupine Dogs says, "Wolf dogs have seasonal affective behaviour, January to February. I have genuinely never witnessed it outside of these months. Others have been reported to me as early as November and as late as April. Have when I visit them turned out to be simple behavioural issues with lack of appropriate or experienced training and or lack of boundaries, lack of human understanding, or just plain and simply used as an excuse for poor behaviours." So as you see, all wolves and high-content wolf dogs are different, but the general rule is almost pure, and pure will definitely get some form of it. Vicki of Southern Breeze also states that females can be a lot nastier, in my opinion, than males. But keep in mind, I'm only going on the experience I have had and witnessed with other people's high contents and pure. Sometimes the females can actually be more affectionate and clingy. Generally, the male wolves will be worse if housed with females, as he could challenge your dominance to keep you away from her and who owns her. The female wolf, on the other hand, won't be so aggressive to you, but could become potentially dangerous to competing breeding females in her enclosure, sometimes resulting in fighting to the death. This is when zoo wolves are most in danger, as the females have nowhere to run and hide like wild wolves, where the dominance of the female and male will quash the hormones of lower-ranking males and females. Anneka of WolfWatchUK is a classic example of this, which is why she was rescued by Tony after almost killing her female sibling over sexual breeding rights at Paradise Park. So you have a captive wolf and they are intact. Be prepared to have possibly reduced contact with them for sometimes up to 5 months. You better have a feeding and cleaning out plan. Now, why is breeding seasonal worse for captive wolves and wolf dogs compared to our pet dogs? Well, as Julie suggested from Miyax dogs, it depends on your relationship with your animal. Many wolves and high-content wolf dogs are kept in pens with minimal contact, resulting in more heightened aggression to the keeper as they revert to a wilder state. Whereas perhaps a very well socialised wolf dog may trust you more. What you must remember is wolves and high-content wolf dogs are independent beings, whereas dogs have evolved to be dependent puppy-like creatures to us. A wolf doesn't rely on you, and his independent streak will raise its head far worse than a domesticated dog, resulting in tense resource guarding and sexualized behavior. Their size is a huge factor too. A giant wolf is going to be far more dangerous in his resource guarding than a small dog. As high-content wolf dogs have now flooded the market, we are talking about generally over 80% wolf content, you must need to put measures in, as these high-content wolf dogs will still have inherited these intense wolf hormones from their relatives. This is why so many sadly end up in rescue centre and are often euthanised. A high-content wolf dog is not a dog. It is an extremely challenging animal which will test you no end. Don't let Game of Thrones and other fluffy wolf movies suck you in. If it is a female, she will want to escape to find males to breed with, and this can result in her being shot by farmers or bothering cattle. She may wreck your home simply trying to get out. Your fences better be high. She may dominance hump other female dogs and fight them. It may end up in fractured relationships between your female dogs for life. As for your male high-content wolf dogs, this is when the test is worse. You may have noticed that most of the year he's quite cute, and it even looks like his testicles have disappeared from sight. Well, his hormones are very low at this time, and you are more likely to have some beautiful interaction time with him. But come December and later, you may notice him becoming increasingly difficult and challenging as his breeding hormones come in. This is not a time to mess around and get in his face. You are best to give him space and an enclosure where he can be free to express himself and live through this hormonal time. He will resource guard, mark territory, guard females, and become distant and aloof to you. This is why it can be dangerous to keep wolves and high-content wolf dogs if you do not know what you are doing behavioural-wise with their training and socialisation. Even some spayed and neutered wolves and high-content wolf dogs still display seasonal affective disorder, so you need to be on guard. So take my advice, unless you stay at home all day, have bags of resources to house and socialise these animals, please do not get one. So if you've noticed your intact high-content wolf dog acting up this winter, this is your answer, and I hope that if you already have one of these animals, that I'm not the first person to educate you on these behaviours, or I really fear for the ongoing protection and welfare of these amazing and beautiful animals. Do your research before ever acquiring one.
And if you enjoyed this episode of Animal Watch, then be sure to give us a massive thumbs up and subscribe to the channel by clicking that button in the bottom hand corner. And be sure to tune in every single week where we will be bringing you amazing episodes on dogs, wolves, animal rescue and conservation. Bye from me and bye from Cal. Bye-bye.